That's how things can develop. We are to take inspiration from the beauty that the brain is on overdrive in different people and see the beauty of how God brings those gifts to life. It is a precious gift when we think of this wisdom that is shared. This wisdom that is shared from the book of James. When we think of a type of intelligence that utilizes mercy and good fruits, no partiality or hypocrisy, seeking to not go in disorder and wickedness. You see, that is a faithful response to intelligence, that our brains, however they may be fixed and working within you uniquely, that brain, if it's connected with humility, is going to have a desire to impact the world of God's mission. That's the faithful response, that our brains are to be used for good, to be used for love, to be used for mercy. For our brains and our intelligence can quickly devolve into malevolent behavior, manipulating people, guilt-tripping people in a way to have them do what you want, utilizing one's strategy to be over someone else. The brain can quickly use its intelligence to thwart and control others. That is not the way of God. The way of God is through love and humility and inner peace and strength. Our intelligences in this room are to be brought together to see how best we can impact the world around us. If we don't use our brains to think of how we can solve complex problems outside the walls of our church, our brains have gone to waste. All this intelligence in this room washed away. But I've seen glimpses of great intelligence in this room. Intelligence matched with humility and empathy. Intelligence that seeks to figure out ways to feed hungry people, feed hungry children, helping them to read, how to connect with people, having to help them feel welcome. Those are what fuels us. That is our mission. Over the course of this sermon series that we're doing, we're examining different types of intelligence. And today we're really focused on just the brain itself and how it uses information and intelligence to sort out and live and function. You are being flooded with information every second of the day. Through people you meet, through news, through social media, through interactions on your phone. All this information that we have access to is actually quite overwhelming. I don't think that our human brain is actually supposed to absorb all of this information. Certainly not at once. And that's a problem that we as humans have to figure out. And that's why I think that us using our intelligent brain can determine that from time to time we need to reclaim Sabbath for our minds, Sabbath for our brains, Sabbath for the overdrive of thought that is so often needed in our culture and our time. What is Sabbath? God-given gift of rest to you, to recharge your brain. Cut off your phone. Cut off the news. Cut off needless interaction and look at you and your family and who you are. Take time with God and let God repurpose your mind for the gospel. There is too much information. There is too much pain in our world. There is too much horror that our brains can process. So we have to think deeply about how we strategically use our brains effectively. And that means that we approach the world with humility and grace and giving Sabbath to our brains when we know it needs it. Rest your minds. Give a vacation to your brain, a good vacation to your brain, so that it can be used for the purposes of God's kingdom. Amen. And now, friends, let us join as we close with our last hymn today, Jesus, United by Thy Grace, page 561 in your hymnal. Stand if you're able. Amen indeed. Thank you, Carol, for being with us today. We so appreciate your gifts. And receive this benediction. Go forth, knowing that God is wanting to use your brain, a gift of intelligence that you possess. Give that brain some rest. Don't beat up that brain too much than it already is by the world. And make sure that you set it towards a good and holy endeavor of love to neighbor and love to God. Amen. Thanks so much. Glad to have you. Yes, and congrats. You got in the flag.